Opportunity is a funny thing. It cannot be planned. It must be recognized when it chooses to present itself. And when it's missed, it never seems to return in quite the same form. And then eventually, it's simply lost, never to return at all. On November 7th, county voters determined that Lindbergh Field will be San Diego's primary airport into the foreseeable future, and the voters respected the Navy's desire to retain Miramar as a military facility. That decision, whether we agree with it or not, compels us to focus on making Lindbergh Field as efficient as possible well into the 21st century. But this is also an opportunity, perhaps our last one, to make our waterfront more accessible, beautiful, and prosperous for the people of San Diego. What should be the fundamental objectives of a unified waterfront vision designed to serve the people of San Diego for generations to come? To protect and expand the working waterfront and the jobs and revenues associated with it. To maximize the aesthetic and economic potential of our bayfront in an environmentally responsible way, and to increase the quality and quantity of waterfront public space for residents and visitors alike. Historically, we've had many waterfront landmarks that San Diegans hold dear and that represent the lifestyle we cherish. There are also maritime commercial opportunities that we would like to expand, including the lucrative cruise ship industry. But on more than one occasion, we have walled off the waterfront and limited public access. We have underutilized marine terminals that, if consolidated into an industrial heart for our port, could both expand the working waterfront and create more public open space. The result of piecemeal planning is that we have produced many great individual projects, but we lack a cohesive framework of grand public space connecting downtown neighborhoods to the waterfront. For a century, this goal of visionary planners has proved elusive, but now we have another chance. Planning a network of parkland, plazas, and promenades, linking the waterfront to Balboa Park, which completes the long-held dream of a green necklace around our downtown. This unified waterfront vision could extend from the airport along the north and south Embarcadero all the way to Chicano Park. That could be an important link in extending the concept south of the Coronado Bay Bridge to dovetail with projects already planned for the National City and Chula Vista waterfronts. We can do all of this and more, but the linchpin is Lindbergh Field. Lindbergh will never be the biggest airport in the world, but it could be the most convenient, the most efficient, and the coolest. Rather than bemoan its inherent shortcomings, we could capitalize upon and market Lindbergh's proximity to downtown as an asset. We need only ask, what if? What if the Airport Authority relocated terminals to the Pacific Highway side of Lindbergh Field, closer in proximity to I-5? This could make access easier, reduce traffic along the waterfront, and create the opportunity to anchor a modern multimodal transit center on Pacific Highway. This provides an opportunity to close Harbor Drive south of Lindbergh, creating a promenade and more public space at water's edge. What if we created a direct water link from the airport to the bay, enabling arrivals to travel by watercraft to bayside hotels and the South Bay? What if our waterfront vision connected the airport, our expanded promenade along the Embarcadero, Balboa Park, Old Town, and downtown with an efficient and tourist-accessible people mover loop? This could incorporate the existing light rail and new modes of transportation, serving residents and tourists, and making the waterfront more accessible for all. What if our waterfront vision honored existing development rights, but moved the proposed Navy Administration Building off of the bayfront to other property the Navy controls in the county? Surely the Navy's development partner could do better aesthetically and economically by redeveloping the Navy Broadway complex without having to shoehorn a fortified office building onto the waterfront. Now that voters have respected the Navy's arguments for military exclusivity at Miramar, is it unreasonable for San Diegans to ask the Navy to reconsider the location of its office building to some of its other land? What if our waterfront vision preserved alternative opportunities to expand our cruise ship industry by relocating a new terminal? Imagine a visually distinctive terminal that could be the biggest, best, and most prosperous on the West Coast, but perhaps at 10th Avenue rather than on a constrained site at the B Street Pier. A mega terminal that showcases the waterfront may also have joint uses with the convention center. What if our waterfront vision preserved options to consolidate and substantially expand our working waterfront? By concentrating cargo and maritime industrial activities in one area of the bay and taking advantage of economies of scale, we could support several times the maritime business currently conducted at two underutilized marine terminals. This could generate more maritime jobs and income for cash-strapped local governments. We could also better utilize the South Embarcadero from the Convention Center to the Coronado Bay Bridge, with opportunities to extend a unified waterfront vision to National City and Chula Vista. So where are we now? And are there better alternatives? This is a view of our waterfront as it currently exists, and as it would be if current plans and proposed projects were implemented. But if we recognize and seize the opportunity presented by the airport decision, we could reshape the vision of our waterfront at last, preserving options for future generations of San Diegans. What if we adopted a grand public space framework and a master plan similar to the Port of San Diego's vision for the Chula Vista Bayfront? What if our waterfront vision incorporated existing North Embarcadero plans, but required that key parcels such as the Navy Broadway Complex, Lane Field, and the B Street Pier be developed as part of a larger statement, with setbacks, scale, public access, and design standards appropriate to the waterfront? Plans already exist for a park at our historic San Diego County Administration Building. This could be the benchmark for setbacks and scale of new commercial developments fronting the bay. As Harbor Drive is replaced with a public promenade and amenities, including a new people mover loop that complements existing and new development, visual, vehicular, and pedestrian access to the waterfront could be improved, connecting downtown neighborhoods to the bay more effectively. Density and scale at the water's edge could be reduced by fronting taller buildings on the Pacific Highway corridor. Cultural amenities and significant civic icons could be built on waterborne piers and moles. Commercial development and expanded working port capacity can coexist with more public space and signature structures and icons that could distinguish San Diego as a community that truly celebrates its waterfront. What if our waterfront vision, based on this unified public space framework, went from this to this? It is not too late. We have a rare opportunity to return to our long-standing vision of a spectacular waterfront and to plan and implement a bayfront that can be as inviting and enduring as Balboa Park. We could put an end to piecemeal development that inevitably leads to a fragmented waterfront vision. We could refuse to continue walling off our precious waterfront. We could return to a unified vision that balances private development rights with the public's interest as our paramount priority. If we allow current plans to go ahead without challenge, we may be forever haunted by memories of what could have been. Or we can recognize opportunity that might otherwise be lost forever. Let's seize it and be remembered by future generations as San Diegans who cared enough to plan and build a waterfront of hope and grand vision. Will our future be this or this? San Diego deserves the best for our greatest natural treasure. We must not blink at the moment opportunity presents itself.